Hi, guys. This is my second reflection for the calculus technology class, all about using technology in the classroom. So I've got Professor DeBay's list of guiding questions for this discussion here, so I'm going to kind of go through those one at a time. So the first one's all about the Common Core and how does the Common Core feel about the use of technology in the classroom. And from what I have read and think and hear and think that I understand, the technology standards are quite prevalent in the Common Core standards because there's a real emphasis on making sure that young students are prepared for life and the work world in an increasingly technologically based world. So there's a big time emphasis on technology in the Common Core standards, and it seems like they don't have their own separate standards. It seems like the technology standards are kind of ingrained and interwoven into the major content standards. So they're not separated from everything else. It's just kind of right in there with all of the major content areas, which I think emphasizes the need for students to be as proficient as they can with different types of technological tools in all the content areas. So I think it's certainly very prevalent, and there's a big emphasis on the use of technology in the Common Core standards. Um, is there a debate about technology in the classrooms? I think there's no question that there absolutely is a big time debate about technology in the classrooms. I think it's one of the hottest topics in education, as far as I can tell from things that you read and hear going on right now. And it seems like there's different levels of the debate as well, not just about um, the benefits of using technology in the classrooms, how important it is to use technology, but how much should we be using technology in the classroom? Should schools be totally dependent and using technology for everything? Should there be no technology? Somewhere in between. So the kind of the level of use of technology, and then beyond that, things like what types of technology are we talking about? Laptops, tablets, cell phones, PCs, whatever it is, and then other things like what type of software should be used. All of the different types of program software that are out there, which are the ones that should be used. So there are many different levels, I think, of debate about technology going on in the United States right now, and like a lot of other big national debates that are going on, I think it seems to be a debate that's going nowhere fast. There's all people on both sides of the technology spectrum seem to they feel quite fervently about their position, and they have all of this statistical data about test scores and things like that is all basically mostly unproven and untested as to whether or not it actually benefits students over the long period, because there's just not enough data to be able to tell that at this point. So it seems to be an ongoing and very intense debate to which there is, really no end in sight of right now. Um, how do I feel personally about technology in the classroom? I think that technology definitely has its place as a tool to be used, an instructional tool in the classroom. I think that it can definitely um, have great benefits in terms of kind of switching things up and keeping things fresh for the students. But I think that I guess I'm a little bit old fashioned with my thoughts on the use of technology in the classroom, and that comes probably from some of the experiences that I've had this year, some of the experiences that I've seen in limited experience, but in my internship at Bedford, I've gotten the opportunity to see the kids using the laptops that they have. Each classroom has their cart of laptops for a full class of students, and it seems like pretty much every time I am in a classroom and the laptops are being used by the whole class, the kids pull them out and they're logging on to do whatever work they have to do, and it just seems like every time there's at least a small handful of students who are having some kind of issue, be it an issue with logging onto the computer, making a connection to the internet or logging onto their school, their school drive where they keep all of their work and emails and things like that. Some kind of problem somewhere along the line, and I think that just becomes an issue when you have these problems when it's not working for one reason or another. The teacher then has to deal with these issues with the students. I mean, if you've got 3, 4, 5 students who are having issues, the teacher's got to be going around and focusing on these students, which takes away from instructional time. It just becomes an issue, and it kind of compounds upon itself. And if you can't figure out what the problem is, all of a sudden you've got some kids who can't get any work done, and now they either have to go try a different laptop, or if there are no free laptops, they have to work with one of their classmates, and it just becomes an issue where there's tons of time wasted, instructional time, and you're not getting a lot accomplished. I just bring it up because I've seen it a lot. It just feels like I've seen it a lot when the laptops are pulled out for the students. There's always some issue for at least a handful, at least a small handful of students with the laptop, something that's preventing them from getting to their work and being able to get that done. So, some experiences have been good. Some have given me pause, mostly because of some kind of problem that's gone wrong with the technology. Actually, just today, I was subbing in math, and I was really teaching the lesson. It wasn't a normal sub period. I was really teaching the lesson, and I was working with the smartboard, and I was just having issues with it. And when you are having issues with it, again, it's taking away from that instructional time. It slows everything up, and it really stops everything. Everything kind of comes to a halt while you have to figure out this problem. And you get off track, and then if you are able to figure it out, you're making up for lost time. So, the kind of specter of those issues looming is kind of what frightens me away a little bit. So, all of that certainly makes it sound like I'm not exactly the biggest advocate of technology in the classroom in any way. But like I said, I mean, I think it has its place, and it definitely has its uses that can certainly be beneficial in the classroom. But I just, I don't know. I guess I'm just a little bit more old school, because for me, it all comes down to the teacher. I mean, the greatest technology in the world, working perfectly all the time, is great, but to me, it's meaningless without the right teacher there to be able to use it effectively for the students. If you don't have the right teacher there who's able to connect with the students and show them how to properly use it and how to most efficiently benefit from that technology, it's going to be meaningless, I think. So it all comes back to the teacher, I think. So that's why I kind of refer to it as being a tool for the classroom, something that can be beneficial if it's used correctly and in the right moments. So that's pretty much how I feel about technology in the classroom, and that's about it. It wraps it up here for me with my overall thoughts on the use of technology in the classroom. I'm going to have to start doing these quicker. 8.5 minutes is just no good. Nobody wants to watch all that, so congratulations if you are still watching this video. Well done. That's it for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow.